Wow.
Boogaloo.
Films. Bad films. Lots of films. Very, very bad films. Films. Watch that film. Then talk about it. It's Electric Boogaloo with Matt and Keenan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Electric Boogaloo, the show where we make bad films worse. I'm 12 sentient room bars stacked on top of each other, Matthew Bradley. I said my name really weirdly. Matthew Bradley.
Matthew Bradley. I'm in a horror film. Bradley. I'm in a horror film, therefore I can only run in straight lines. Keenan Groom.
Yeah. So this week on Boogaloo, we watched Maximum Overdrive, which I like to refer to as the film that cocaine built.
Yeah.
Stephen King's first directorial effort. He was coked up the entire time. He will openly admit that, so I'm happy to make fun of it.
Zoom on zoom. Zoom on zoom.
Oh.
I was just moving the table, but it looked cool.
I see. And you just went and zoom on zoom a few times.
Yes, if you like to.
As one does.
Carry on.
I'd also like to bring up before we start, just a little update on our Moose jail situation. We're still in Moose house arrest because, the quarantine's still happening. But the moose outside my house is getting a little bit more aggressive. He has now got a chainsaw. So if you hear the sound of a chainsaw in the background of this episode, it's a moose with a chainsaw.
If you hear any building work...
You may be wondering how the moose holds the chainsaw. It's in the antlers, obviously.
Oh, of course, yeah. I was going to say, if you hear any building work outside mine, it's because the moose are getting wet from the rain. So they're building some flats opposite so they can camp out.
Yeah.
Ready to ambush
Might move into a moose flat.
Sounds fun.
Move away from my moose into a moose flat. That'd be great.
A part moose?
A part moose?
No, I tried.
The way my brain went there, it was like, it would be a good pun for moose. Bungalow. But no, it wouldn't.
That doesn't work at all.
Like bunga moose. So Maximum Overdrive is there you go, that works.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with housing, but it's a thing.
It's a building, though.
Chocolate moose. So Maximum Overdrive is a film. This film is about machines coming to life because of aliens. It's based on a short story called Trucks by Stephen King. True story. To be fair, when I was Googling Maximum Overdrive to get to the Wikipedia page to look at the cast list, Google has the recommended questions.
Yes.
And it's who directed Maximum Overdrive? Is Maximum Overdrive based on a Stephen King story? Third question, is Maximum Overdrive based on a true story? Which somehow I doubt.
Sigh.
Gangnam Style?
No, I just knew that me sighing probably wouldn't pick up too much, so I wanted to fully elaborate that I'm sighing at that wonderful use of IQ there.
You gotta love people asking questions on the internet, man. And if you really do, check out our video, Are You Smarter Than a Yahoo? Anyway, product placement aside, Keenan, where could we have watched this film if we weren't under arrest by chainsaw wielding moose's meese?
Yes, so I have a crazy cinema for you today. Once again, a couple of blanks to fill in, and then I'll elaborate on them afterwards.
I had a name for this segment, by the way. It's Triple C. It's Keenan's Crazy Cinemas. We're spelling your name with a C for this bit.
We're going full Gaelic in how my name should be spelled. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. I'm glad you picked the C's.
Yes, well, that's the thing. I was thinking, what if we changed the crazy in cinema to K's? But then I realised the implications of that.
Yep, anyway, so my cinema is called Hollywood Forever. Thousands of people flock each year to watch films projected on the side of a blank. Films such as Hollywood classics like As Devil Without a Cause. So on the side of a blank, this contains the blank of Rudolph Valentino, a silent film actor, and Oscar-winning actor Peter Finch.
I think I know this one, actually.
I hate you.
This is the cinema in the funeral, right? In the graveyard.
No.
No?
Yeah, it is completely, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I've been to Hollywood Forever. I didn't watch a movie there, but I've been to the graveyard. It's in Los Angeles.
God, you've travelled.
Yeah.
Would you like to fill in the blanks?
It's projected on the side of a crypt containing the corpses of the...
I'll give you that. Projected on a mausoleum.
Right.
And this contains the remains.
Now, here's the thing. I've been to that graveyard because we just were in the area. We're like, yeah, let's have a look. Didn't know there was a cinema there.
Yeah, so it's one of those
ones. I knew the name Hollywood Forever.
It's like... It's not like a cinema. I think it's sort of like a projector sort of thing. So every now and then they project films onto the side of a mausoleum that contains Hollywood legend graves. Apparently it encourages different interactions between cemeteries and the public.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of the gravestones in that cemetery have like lipstick marks on them, and like people leave presents for the people, and
it's like an old Hollywood
crazy to look at
cemetery, isn't it? Where a lot of
it's not just like actors though. It's like people who like one of the Ramones is buried there.
So it's quite a famous cemetery, is it? Where like the people in it,
famous person.
You have to be somebody to be buried there. You can't just be.
Yes, it's a celebrity cemetery.
Yeah. They also do like a lot of late night screenings of horror films such as The Shining and things like that.
Makes sense.
Which does make sense.
Good zombie movies, sure, that would be.
No, but The Shining, I wouldn't have thought would be a... You'd pick a like Night of the Living Dead or something like that, wouldn't you?
That's what I was thinking. Shining seems like one you should show in like a creepy abandoned cinema or in a hotel cinema. Show in a hotel cinema on horror night, and that's going to freak the guests out.
But yeah, they're the ones that said that they showed like The Shining and Devil Without a Cause. I thought you'd get a bit more... I don't know.
Maybe showing the zombie movies. Maybe showing the zombie movies is a bit on the nose.
Be funny though. So,
just turn around and it's like, zombie of Steve McQueen.
So there you go. Hollywood Forever, Cemetery Cinema. The fact you've been there is even cooler than you getting it wrong, I think. So there we are.
You go.
Again, very interesting.
Didn't know it was a cinema, but it's a cool place.
Yeah, well, I suppose it makes sense if it's old Hollywood.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Put their movies on the screen.
Yeah, I'm not doubting it. I'm just saying I didn't know.
Been very interesting. What isn't interesting, though, is this film.
Maximum Overdrive, yeah. I mean, it's kind of interesting. So, brief plot breakdown. Earth passes into the tail of a comet called Rhea M, which... Okay. Being in the tail of this comet causes all the machines to come to life. And then a group of lucky survivors have to not die. And that's the movie. That's the entire movie.
It's a survival thing as opposed to I'm going to save the world.
Yes.
Yeah, so these people don't save the world. They sort of just live through it.
Not all of them.
No, not all of them, no. That would be boring.
Exactly. And then a lot of this film is like all the survivors holed up in a truck stop, specifically, which doesn't seem like the most defensible place, but fine. So let's go through some stuff. So the machines all start coming to life. Start the movie, you get a few funny moments with the machines coming to life. Like there's the sign in a bank is like, it's 72 degrees. It's a Sunday. F off.
That, I think, if I read it right, was Stephen King.
It was him at the ATM.
Yeah.
Guy goes to an ATM and he puts his card in and the machine says, "You are an arsehole."
I thought that was a very funny joke, actually.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Well, because it's penned as a comedy horror.
Comedy horror, yeah. Most of it isn't funny.
Yeah, so I thought that being the beginning part, I thought, oh, here we go. This could be quite a like Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Okay, yeah.
That sort of thing where it's a horror, but it's goofy and it's funny, or Cabin in the Woods, something like that. I thought it'd be like that.
Cabin in the Woods.
But
no. You get the scene of Stephen King being called an asshole, and he yells over to his wife like, "Honey, come quick! The machine called me an asshole." It's like, okay, Mr. King. Can I call you Stephen? Stephen. All right, and then
did I miss a joke there?
No.
Okay, I was like, you can call me Stephen. I didn't respond. I was like, was I supposed to get something?
No,
here?
I said, Mr. King, can I call you Stephen? And that was my joke.
Okay.
It wasn't good. I'm not saying it was a joke. I'm just saying it was meant to. It was what I said. This movie may have driven us mad.
Just point out one of the beginning of my logical workings out, which I feel that's what I become here. Like,
you've become Mr. Logic.
I've become, this wouldn't happen because obviously that's what films are, that's what fiction is, but still, one of the first instances we see that machines are taking over is, which you will now explain, I'm assuming, is the bridge lifting up.
Yes.
The control switch, it says control switch, is a button that's pressed.
Yeah.
So that's my first, this film's going to be like that, is it?
I mean,
it goes inwards.
That's such a minor thing.
But I was like, that's the first thing. It's a big red button. It's a very stereotypical big red button. The big red button's pressed and bad things happen. And it says control switch.
What's more concerning for me is how long it takes the two guys who are working in that booth to realize that the bridge is going up by itself and is throwing melons everywhere.
Yeah. It's a very good blood joke there, because I know a lot of watermelons are used in decapitations and things involving a head in films, and the fact that they splattered on a car was quite a nice touch if it was intentional.
I really enjoyed the truck of watermelons gets sent flying, the watermelons all land on the ground. I really enjoyed the guy who just steps out of his car and just eats shit right into the watermelons. He steps out and just AC/DC are on that bridge.
Yes. So obviously the soundtrack's by AC/DC. Great soundtrack. This movie has an awesome soundtrack. Very here they are. It was so obvious. I posed a question to myself that are handbrakes not a thing in America?
Right.
Because as soon as you put your handbrake on, obviously it can only go so far when it's almost vertical, but I'm sure it would stop the wheels. When
it's diagonal, it would stop them.
Yeah.
Obviously when the bridge goes further, then yeah, absolutely. But by that point, everyone should have been off the bridge.
Yeah, and there's a guy who gets out of his truck. And it's about, I don't know, let's say 6 foot to be dramatic at the top of the bridge, and he decides to go down the way he's just come, when easily you could hop over to the other side of the bridge and effectively and quite safely go down and be on your way the direction you were heading. You'd lose your car, but you could easily got over there. Yeah,
so I'll get to that guy in a second. I just wanted to bring up the bike guy.
Yes. The bike guy.
He's on his bike. The bridge moves, he instantly falls off it and then just slides into the sea. That guy can't stand up or anything, I guess.
You wouldn't slide. I suppose
his bike doesn't fall. It's just him.
Yeah, you'd roll if anything.
Yeah, the road is rough. It's not like ice. You're not sliding right down it.
If it was vertical,
there's metal railing as well. It's the bridge is going up, so he can't fall down the middle thing. He wasn't there.
He fell down the gap between the edge of the bridge at the bottom and the horizontal road. But the way that the bridge is going, the way the bridge is going up at the speed it's going up, and the velocity he'd have to slide down to then go into the gap. I don't think it's possible. It's not possible.
No, just grab. It's not hard. The guy on the truck. I'm with you. He should have. He opens the door, has a look around, closes the door, and he's like, right, I'm going to drive over the gap. Instead of thinking, right, I'm going to get out of the truck and not die.
Yeah. It's one of those things.
He has to protect the truck.
As well, like, it's a last case scenario, but being in the center of the bridge over a river, you've got a fairly high percentage of chance of just landing in that river and then having to float.
Yeah. It's not like you're landing in the Pacific.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but even in the Pacific, you've got a chance. Not in the middle because no one will see it, but there's a you might like break a couple of bones or something, but it's a very high possibility that you'll come out unscathed if you just dive safely into the water.
There's plenty of witnesses here as well, so someone would be calling the police.
Yeah.
My question I had at this point was, and this is a question I have for most of the film, is these machines are very selective with what they can take control of.
Yes, I've written that for something that happened at the very end of the film, so I'll probably mention it then, unless you want to mention it now. But,
I think we can bring it up as we go along because there's a lot of examples.
Yeah.
But this is my first one I certainly noticed, is how come it can take over the bridge, it can take over the traffic ATM lights, and the bank sign and the traffic lights, can't take over the cars on the bridge to drive them into the ocean. I've
put down that for some reason, if you're in the car and you're driving it, you're in control.
Yeah.
Because it only happens to be unmanned. We'll say man and machine, unmanned vehicles.
Unoccupied,
that's the word, yeah. Unoccupied vehicles.
But then later on, they're in the diner and it turns off all the lights and like has control over the power inside the diner. But it's a manned building, arguably.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we'll get to all that later on.
No keys.
First, let's talk about the guy getting shot in the nuts by a soda machine. It's a baseball game, and the kids are all playing baseball, and it's a good fun time. And then the coach is like, "I'm going to get you all sodas," and he presses the button on the soda machine, and it shoots a kind of soda into his nuts, shoots another one into his stomach, shoots one into his head, killing him, and then like Gatling gun fires all the kids.
There was a couple of things before that. I've just got a couple of quotes because they quickly establish the diner. Like nothing really happens there. They just establish it. One, when they're talking to the boss of the
Bubba.
Of what's it? It's a diner and a truck stop, isn't it? He says, "I don't give a ladybug." Oh, you're an intimidating boss there. Cool.
Yeah. That's fine.
The pinball machine breaks and he shouts "Your mama" at it.
That really got me. Like that's a random dude walks into this room and like all the pinball machines are going crazy, and one of them shatters and he says, "Yo, mama." Yeah. I had that written down as well. I thought that was later.
There was he was stamping out his what's it called when he clocked out of work.
Yes.
And there was a row of all the people who work there, and I may have just wanted to believe this, but I believe there was someone who worked there called Gene Pool.
There was,
and I thought that was really funny.
That. Yeah,
he was called Gene Pool. I don't know why that's intentional, but it's just funny having someone called Gene Pool.
And like,
but the soda nuts boy guy, baseball boys,
soda nuts, yeah. That's all I had to say about it. I just thought it was great. I just like watching this guy get hit in the nuts by a can of soda. And then we get introduced to we go to the diner. We get introduced to our main character, Emilio Estevez.
Yep.
I don't know any character names from this film.
His name was Bobby or Billy.
I think it was Bill. I know the boss guy keeps calling everyone Bubba. So I've got him down as Bubba in my head. And then is the guy we meet later on called Kenneth? Like the married one?
His name was... I can get him up. His name was
I mean, we don't have to get them up because if I can't remember them, it's clearly not important.
Because I had his name in my head, but now it's annoying what his name is. The main guy is called Bill.
Bill, okay.
And his name was Curtis.
Curtis, okay.
Yeah.
The film's set in North Carolina. They've all got kind of Southern American names, I guess. Sure. We meet him. We meet Bubba the boss. Again, he could have a different name. I'm going to call him Bubba. And we meet the most important character in the film, which is lady who screamed, "We made you!" later on.
Wanda June, the
Wanda
waitress.
June. That's a great name.
Yeah.
I love that.
He's quoted as Bubba.
Bubba, there we go.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Bubba Henderson.
Yeah. So a truck driver drives in with his truck that looks like the Green Goblin.
So I wrote down that they just ripped off the Green Goblin's face, but in the credits, very, very end, they did
Marvel. Right?
They credited Marvel, so it was Green Goblin. It was
the Green Goblin.
Yeah,
it's just straight the Green Goblin. That's fine. It's just that it looks goddamn insane.
Yeah. This
was the Green Goblin's face in it. Why would your toy company use the Green Goblin as the face for your truck? Use Spider-Man. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. Was this before or after the soda machine?
This is, I think, this must be before.
Yeah,
because in my notes I had Your Mama before Soda Nut Shop.
Yeah,
I skipped ahead to the Soda Nut Shop because it seems like it should be along with the ATM calling him an asshole and the bridge.
Yeah, it seems like
lifting.
He should be one of the first ones to die.
But I guess it introduces the kid, so I don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk about the kid in a bit because there was a really funny bit before the kid was established.
Yes. This guy who gets shot in the eye with the gasoline. Which, why are you looking down a pipe? I mean, I know it's blocked, but if it's blocked, you don't look down the pipe for this exact reason. And then the woman gets stabbed in the arm by an electric knife.
Yep.
That just happens. It's kind of whatever. He hits the knife with a hammer, which is rock beats and scissors, I guess.
And they're like, "Oh, he nailed it." I don't know if that was like an Americanism or it was a joke.
I think that's a pun.
I like it was a pun. I like to think it was a pun.
Yeah. What was the funny thing you had?
It was just with it was the baseball, the children's baseball team. The soda cans. I keep saying soda because it is a soda because it's America.
We're in America.
They travelled very far and did wipe out a few children.
Yeah.
It was basically a kid just fell off a bike. He just stacked it and happened to fall in the exact vicinity of where the truck needs to go.
Oh yeah.
So he just falls straight over the handlebars. Let's assume he hit a groundhog or a molehill.
Groundhog. I was thinking like a pothole maybe, but like a groundhog? Okay.
And then a truck runs him over.
Yeah. There's a lot of that in this film. A truck runs him over. And then we get introduced to the Bible salesman. And
who had Reverend Wonderful on his dashboard. I did this. I'm not wearing glasses.
He's like a creepy old man type trying to sell Bibles to people. And then he's got a hitchhiker who is our female lead, who again, I do not know the name of. Didn't learn any character names.
No, that's the child.
Deke's the child. Okay.
Brett.
Okay.
I knew it was like a very American man name. That's what I.
I'm talking about the female lead.
Yeah, no, her name's Brett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Brett and Bill end up hooking up later on, but that's later. They arrive at the truck stop. She steers him into it. And he's like, "Are you on drugs or something?" Not a lot to say there. The main thing is I'm trying to get to my next note, which is when Brett meets Bill for the first time. She taps him on the shoulder and just goes, "Vroom vroom." Imagine if that's how you greet another human being. When we first hang out when quarantine is over, I'm going to go up to you and go, vroom, vroom.
Well, because obviously we're talking about Reverend Wonderful here. He's a creepy man. And she aggressively says, "Eat my shorts" to him, which wait, when did The Simpsons come out?
Oh, hang on, when did Maximum Overdrive come out? I'll get The Simpsons.
86.
Maximum Overdrive was 86. The Simpsons was
Later, surely.
89.
So it wasn't a pun.
Nah. Alas.
It wasn't a Simpsons joke.
No. Tragic.
Which I have a lot to say about later, because there's one character who I want to drop kick.
Let's just talk about him now. Go for it.
Oh, it was her.
Oh, is it the wife?
I want to drop kick her so far.
She's annoying.
I hate her. I very rarely dislike characters so much I don't want to watch the film. And I had to sit through it.
A really annoying nasal voice, and she whined about everything in every scene. There's a bit where like they wreck their car trying to get into the truck stuff, and Curtis gets himself out, and she's like, "Where's my Curtis? Where's my Curtis? You're not Curtis. I want my Curtis." As Bill is saving her, and she's like, Curtis. I'm like, shut up.
What I've learned from this is it's not an acting choice. I think this is her actual voice.
Oh, no.
Because if we take from it who it was who played her, being Yeardley Smith, the voice of Lisa Simpson.
Huh.
And I heard Lisa through some of her lines, meaning that she's not actually a voice actor, like as in like doing a character voice. She's sort of just being herself.
No, this was different than Lisa's voice, definitely.
But you still heard it a lot. Like if you take Nancy Cartwright, you talk about Simpsons.
Yeah, but
take Nancy Cartwright compared to her.
Now and then as it came through, because it's a voice that Yeardley Smith does. I don't want to discredit Yeardley Smith here because she's bad in this, but like I can listen to Lisa Simpson talk.
Yeah, but it's similar sort of whiny vibe. Like Lisa is arguably really annoying.
Not as much as like Marge.
No, not one about the voice, one about character-wise. Like in the grand scheme of things. So what it is this might just be her. This might just be Yeardley Smith. Also, I don't want to judge her, but her face really bugged me.
I don't want to be judgmental here, but she's ugly and terrible, and I hate her.
Have you seen? Have you seen a recent picture of her?
No.
I feel that she was the inspiration of how they made the Who's in the Grinch film.
This is being very mean.
It's not mean. I just feel like she's a style inspiration.
You said she looks like a Who from the Whoville. She looks like a human being, Keenan.
Yeah, so the Who's.
No, they're not. They're Who's.
They're human beings.
Human. Hey.
But she's a lovely lady. But she really annoyed me in this film.
Yeah, and now you're taking it on her to say that she looks like a goddamn Who from Whoville. She looks like Cindy Lou Who up in here.
She might have been Cindy Lou.
Maybe so. Are you looking for that fresh apple taste in a new, easily accessible container?
Actually, yes, I am.
Well, good for you, because we've got for you today apple bread. This is bread that tastes like apples, and that's our jingle, yeah. New apple bread comes to you from the same company that brought you such inventions as orange bread that didn't do very well, and prawn toast, which is very popular. We took 13 apples and 1 loaf of bread and put them in the oven, and what happened next may amaze you. They became a loaf of apple bread. Now, you may be wondering. You may be.
Why did the apples go into the bread when exposed to heat?
That is the secret of our special apples. You've heard of Granny Smith apples.
Yes.
You've heard of Red Delicious. You've heard of Cosmic Crisp. But have you heard of... You heard the most famous one that relates to my invention is crab apples. Have you heard of hermit crab apples?
I know. I get it now because hermit crabs go in things that weren't originally theirs. I get it
So what
now.
happens is the hermit crab apples are inside the skins and they get hot. And it's like, oh, it's a bit warm in here. And they get in that bread. And they scuttle over and they get in the bread. And now the bread's apples. So you can buy apple bread for 30 quid in cash. I only have it in cash.
For one loaf?
You get like 2.
Oh, what a steal.
Bit decent sized loaves too.
Nice, thank you.
And if you want to make a sandwich with it, I'd recommend you use strawberry jam.
Okay, where can I buy these?
My house. Don't have a shop yet. Times are hard.
Thank you for your generosity, madam.
Oh, it's not generous. I'm making a decent profit off it. I mean, times are hard. I'm going to do well off this apple bread. I think it's a pretty rare thing. I don't know.
One quick thing I've noticed, even though I'm in this virtual world now, I've popped into your brain. Next time you make an advert, maybe just don't just discuss you wanting to make money.
I mean, I think this advert's got a pretty conversational tone generally, and it's kind of broken the fourth wall in a lot of ways. It's almost as if 2 people are making this up as they go along. Wait, no! So the trucks are all alive. They're like circling the building. There's one that's full of trash, rubbish. I'm going too American. It drives into Reverend Wonderful's car while he's making a Bible sale. He's like, for just $9.95, you can have the best Bible. Wait, what the hell? Get out of my way, bitch! And runs outside. That really got to me when he says, "Get out of my way, bitch!" and pushes a woman. All right. And then he gets run over and doesn't die, but like he gets hit by a truck so hard that he flies out of his shoes.
Yeah.
Shoes stay still.
Do the laces go with it?
Maybe. I think they were loafers. I think they were like slip-ons. He still gets knocked out of his shoes, which do not move. He lands in a ditch. It's important later, kind of.
Not really.
Not really.
No.
And then Curtis and Cindy Lou Who,
which I might add look the same.
Kind of. They're being attacked by a truck. They manage to escape. They get into the truck stop. Everybody's here. Everyone is here except for the kid. Who? My next note is about the kid.
Yeah. Go on.
So he's wandering through his neighborhood. And he's like biking through it. And he's looking around and seeing all these dead bodies.
Yes.
Like, there's a woman who's like been crushed by a car window or something. A dude's been run over by his own lawnmower.
Yeah.
He just kind of looks at it and goes like, "Oh, okay," and cycles on. This kid doesn't care.
The hammock moved though. The hammock hasn't stopped. Is this hammock electronic?
Electric hammock. Maybe it's one of those. Maybe it has like I've seen it before where they have the things where it's like it swings you automatically.
That's a swing there.
But it's like attached to the hammock. It could have like spun him so quickly that the centrifugal force killed him.
That would have been fun.
Fun to see that. But instead we just see a corpse in a hammock. He just kind of cycles through his neighborhood, looking at all these dead people and like ice in his veins. He's just like, "Oh, okay, these people are dead."
Yeah,
Fine.
I wrote down if I saw this amount of destruction, I wouldn't
I'd
bike and
cry.
then get off the bike. I'd either, if I was this age,
run away.
You'd freeze and not know what to do, or I'd say you'd bike until those tires are worn down. You would just go. You'd either try and get home and see if your family are there, or you'd go.
Or you do what he does eventually and go to his dad's work.
It takes him a while though.
Yeah, well, to be fair, he's only got a bike.
Yeah, but he keeps stopping and looking at lawnmowers.
Yeah. Also, I was almost certain that child died in that scene, but he's fine later on.
No, he was the one who ran away.
The way it's shot, though, it really looks like that kid is about to die from the ice cream truck.
Oh, the ice cream, yes.
Yeah, because there's an ice cream truck playing its music and driving around creepily.
Mighty tasty.
Mighty tasty.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm into that. Show me a creepy ice cream truck.
Yeah.
But it looks like the kid's about to be killed by it, and he just isn't.
They could have done so much more with the ice cream truck.
Yeah. Could have had it fire like a Mr. Whippy, a guy, and like blam.
But you could have had it where it played the ice cream music, but it was slowly running out of diesel in it, so the song got more and more warped and slower. Would have been quite.
Have it like play the ice cream music as it's like driving around serenely, and as it notices a victim, it starts playing AC/DC.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, wasted opportunities.
It's a wasted opportunity. A lot of this film is wasted opportunities. So they hang around the truck stop for a bit longer. Yada yada. One of them gets a missile launcher, and it is never explained why they have a bunch of weapons.
America.
They have a full arsenal of like, intense weaponry. The moose is coming. A full arsenal of like intense weapons, like AK-47s.
Oh yeah, they were big weapons.
Guns, a missile launcher, and like a few times in the film, Bill or someone else says like, "Why do we have all these?" And Bubba is like, "Base, be prepared." Does it with a missile launcher? I mean, to be fair, it does. They blow up a few trucks with a missile launcher. I guess you were right, Bubba. If you were predicting the trucks to come to life, you got it in one.
Because obviously there was a lot of deaths before we get to the main bulk of the story, which is at the truck stop. It's a horror trope in general. I don't know why people in these films don't understand how direction works.
They always run in a straight line.
They run like this was Reverend Wonderful or whatever. He ran away from a truck in front of it. I don't know about you, but I don't think I can run faster than a moving vehicle.
No.
You move sideways.
I can probably jump out of the way of one.
You move sideways or roll sideways of vehicles, and you zigzag weapons. Because then that way, if you constantly change direction with weapons.
Yeah. I only have 2 more notes for the rest of my list. So if you want to run me through some of yours, please feel free.
Your notes for the end of the film?
No, one of them, I don't know where it shows up in the film. I can just say this one. There's a bit where a guy's fiddling with a jukebox. Why is the jukebox got the Last Supper on it?
Yeah, I was going to write that down, but I didn't know the reason. I didn't know why. It was deliberately one of the long stumpy jukeboxes so you could fit all the disciples.
The full painting of Da Vinci's Last Supper, yeah. It was a weird choice. It's like, oh man, look, it's the Last Supper. Okay, play Sunshine, Lollipops, Rainbows Everywhere. It'd be like play Hell's Bells or whatever AC/DC had.
What have I put? I've got a few things.
My other note is more towards the end. So
I've got a few things to the end of it as well. The married couple are driving away from a truck. They constantly look backwards. This is a continuity thing. They constantly look out their back window when the truck's next to them. They're like, and the truck's just here.
It's just next to them.
Just look there. If you're in a crisis, don't abide by traffic laws. You can go on the other side of the road, go through the middle, split in the lanes, and just go on the other side of the road. I don't think they're going to worry.
I think they do that to destroy
eventually, but easily you just go on the other side of the carriageway.
Waiting for the right moment. I don't know. I might be giving them too much credit.
No, not Curtis.
No.
I've put, what is the mathematical possibility that all of them end up on the same truck stop? I understand the child now because
it's a movie.
Yeah.
Who cares?
No. But the married couple arrive at the truck stop and they're circling the diner.
Mhm.
And he's like, I'm going to go through them. The timing of that is awful.
It's so bad.
He went from so far away. You'd go to the edge,
Yeah.
and then you'd jump through the last minute.
No, I understand him not going to the edge, because what if one of the trucks notices him and turns?
Yeah.
But you would drive, if you're going for a gap that's coming after this truck has gone,
you'd drive when that truck
is there.
Yeah.
And then you're going, bam, you get through.
Yeah.
But no, he gets like knocked over, flipped over, and like badly cuts his face.
And from that,
it's fine later.
She says the following words. Oh, honey, you're bleeding like a stuffed penguin. What?
It's like a stuck pig is the phrase.
I heard stuffed penguin.
No, I'm sure she says stuffed penguin, but the phrase is stuck pig. So what are you talking about?
Now you said stuck pig, I feel like I've heard it wrong, but I like to think she said stuffed penguin.
It might have been stuck penguin, but...
Still, that's wrong.
Still wrong. I don't think you would have misheard pig as penguin. So I don't know.
Probably. I heard what I wanted to hear. They definitely forced in the film title really awkwardly.
Oh, yeah. Where she's like, oh, look at all the trucks out there. They're going into Maximum Overdrive. Bum, 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 trailer show.
Like, you could easily call this something else, but there you go.
You could call it trucks.
There's a plane and there's a lawnmower. They just give up.
Yeah.
The plane's faster than a child on a bike.
The lawnmower gets jammed down his hand. The plane, that just flies down and then doesn't do anything for the rest of the movie.
Later on, was that the plane that was like nosedive into a school bus? Was it that plane?
Maybe.
Weird kamikaze machine plane.
Maybe it ran out of fuel, because that's the thing.
Yeah, that is a thing. So we'll give them that. I put, does a car not get possessed if someone's driving it? We will never know. They go through the drainage system to go under the cars. Conveniently dry and not dirty when they're out. They got white t-shirts on and they go through the shower and the toilet sewage and they're pristine. That's just a normal film choice. They're always conveniently dry. This invasion generates a massive green sky like the Northern Lights. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's the tail of the comet.
Yeah. Why does it only last that one night?
Well, we only see it that one night. The events of the film take place over like 2 days.
But like this comet was meant to be there for what, 8 days? It said.
Well, yeah, but like we see day one, which is where they all end up at the truck stop. They get the and we have the night where the sky is green and they rescue the kid because they go through the drainage sewers. They find the Reverend Wonderful, who is not dead, and then they rescue the kid, and then he is. But he just dies.
I was just thinking, like,
the next day is the day where they fuel up all the other trucks, and then that night they escape on the boat, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah,
so we only see 2 nights.
Yeah, but I was just thinking, surely this green sky is the thing that's affecting the vehicles, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the tail of the comet, yeah.
And if that's so, surely that green smoke should be seen for the whole film.
No, because the sun would keep you from seeing it.
I can still see clouds now.
Yeah, but you don't see green space light.
You'd see it in the second night, though, wouldn't you?
Yes, you should see it in the second night. That is agreeably dumb, but not seeing it during the day, that's fine. That's like saying, why can't you see the stars during the day? Light from the sun obscures it. Yeah, I'll give them that. Yeah, because like you should see it on the second night. I agree. Yeah, you should, but I'd think there'd be like a progression. So like as it gets into the afternoon, you get a faint green, and then as it gets dark, it gets brighter and brighter. It's like a green sunset kind of thing.
Be quite nice, but there's a very clear red sunset, and like, oh, look at that outside. And then there's something like, look at the green effect on the sky. It's like, what? Okay. Okay, I'll give you that. I didn't hear that it was the comet tail. I thought it was like the atmosphere at the time. But no, it should definitely be green on the second night. Yeah. Was this film by any chance sponsored They're coming for us.
They're coming for us.
Sponsored by Bic or Thurston.
I think it might have been sponsored by Bic and Thurston, yeah.
Because those trucks seem to be the most important.
Yeah, it's the Bic truck, the Thurston truck, and the Green Goblin truck.
Yeah.
3 you see.
What have I put? A truck can easily go through the window of the diner, but they have to wait for this little JCB
gun
thing.
car.
And the gun car knows Morse code.
Yeah. Well, that's the aliens communicating through the cars, I guess.
Yeah, but all of them have horns.
Yeah.
This green goblin truck didn't have as big a role in this film as I wanted it to. I thought fire was going to come out of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought maybe it was going to be like the leader and speak to us, but no.
The scene where it honks in Morse code, we want fuel, give us fuel, we won't kill you if you give us fuel.
Yeah.
And then they fuel up the trucks. This is where my next note comes in.
Yes.
When they're done fueling up the trucks, it's been maybe an hour's worth of like manual labor, I'd say, right? That's the
I think we're to assume it's a few hours. I was to assume that it happened over a couple of days, but obviously it wasn't. But like that, you'd think that, wouldn't you? Like
each of them fuels up like one truck, which I think takes like an hour, maybe if they're big trucks. I don't know. I've never.
Let's say 6 trucks.
Let's say
half an hour because they're doing a full. Well, they're doing 200 gallons. It wouldn't take too long.
Let's just say to fuel up all the trucks they do, it takes an hour, right?
Okay,
I think that's fair.
To do all the trucks, maybe, yeah. Rather than one truck.
Bill gets super goddamn exhausted from that 1 hour of hard work.
Because I suppose you're holding it in.
Dies.
You're holding it in, and it's in the sun. But even then, I don't know.
It's just I've worked outside before in like long hot days in the sun, standing all day, moving around. Right?
Yeah.
You don't get that tired after a goddamn hour.
Yeah. This is why I was to assume that it happened. Like, obviously it didn't, but to happen over the preceding days or a good 12 hours.
The same day, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is.
He just gets crazy tired, and none of the others do. But he's just like dying of exhaustion for some reason, and then he's fine right afterwards. What's that about?
I don't know. There's an unnecessary romance in this film of someone who they've known for 12 hours.
Mm-hmm. There's 2 unnecessary romances, to be fair. Curtis and
that's
Cindy Lou, who's horrible. Yeah, Brett and Bill hook up, fine, whatever. They blow up the little gun car.
Yeah, that was a clever move. I'll give them that.
Yeah, that's fair. And then the trucks are like, well, now we're going to destroy the diner. A thing we could have done this entire time.
Like I said, all he needed was the Green Goblin car, and you could have got most of them.
I guess they were waiting for the fuel, maybe, but like, still,
we should have gone around in circles then, wasting your fuel.
Yeah. What's that all about? Just destroy the diner and move on. Mm-hmm. Especially since based on Bill's theory, which I believe is made canon by the UFO in the ending. The trucks being taken over is the aliens trying to kill humanity so they can take the planet.
Yeah.
Why waste all the time driving in circles then? Just destroy the diner.
Yeah, like these humans aren't important in the grand scheme of humanity.
Yeah. Just go drive the Green Goblin truck to the White House.
Yeah.
Get it over with.
Yeah.
Destroy Bill Clinton. I think Bill Clinton was the president at the time. Might have been Ronald Reagan.
86, maybe Reagan.
If it's Reagan, definitely destroy Reagan. Just a fun fact for our listeners, Ronald Reagan's grave is a gender-neutral bathroom.
There you go.
Sorry, that's one of my favorite anti-right-wing jokes, and I just enjoy it a great deal. Anyway, so they escape. They go to the docks. One of the characters steals a ring and gets killed by the Green Goblin truck. Mm-hmm. They shoot with Ron missile and is dead.
Right. I put this down. That if that truck, being the big boy, blew up so easily, you'd go for that one first because it seemed to be like the ringleader. You just go, right, get rid of that one.
To be fair, it's a truck. Can they really be ringleaders?
That one was clearly in charge.
I mean, yeah, to us, but to them, would they see that thing and be like, that's clearly the boss?
It had a face with red glowing eyes, and it was the front of the circle.
The boss was the gun car.
Yeah, but what you do is you get rid of Green Goblin Boy, and then you leave the diner before gun car could get there.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
Also, before we got to...
Oh, no, you go.
Before we got to where you're now about to end up, we went past the diner, and the drive-through speaker spoke.
Oh yeah, it's you're not.
It's something like you're not supposed to be here or something like that.
No, it was repeating like human cattle or something.
I thought it says you weren't supposed to be here.
I thought it was saying human lamb.
I definitely had you weren't supposed to be here. You weren't supposed to be here. But anyway, why can that talk, which is a speaker for someone on a microphone at the other end, a human voice, but the radio and the speaker and the jukebox, you'd communicate through them rather than waiting for this weird little gun golf cart with Morse code.
Beeping Morse code. Because, like, if these are trucks, they have, like, convoy speakers in them, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I thought Green Goblin
diner's got a phone.
Which is why I thought the face was going to talk.
And importantly to note as well that we've totally skipped over is, what was her name? Wendy June.
Yeah. Oh.
There are two scenes in this movie where she walks outside the diner and just yells, "We made you!" at the trucks, assuming that's going to do anything.
She just blow up the truck.
By accident. She walks outside with the missile launcher. It's like, "We made you!" Gets shot to death by the gun jerk. And fires a missile, which was a random thing, I guess.
Right. We've established his gun truck thing has a Gatling gun on it, essentially. You definitely just attempt to hide behind cover and shoot it with a rocket, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's be the first one you try and blow up, surely.
Yeah. Like you take your chances, definitely, with it.
Also, my thing with the Gatling gun thing is that's not an automated gun. That's something that a human has to pull the trigger on.
Yeah, someone drives and someone presses the... Yeah.
Yes. The gun itself is not automatic. The car, I can understand how you could make that an automatic system, right?
Yeah.
You can control the machinery in it. The gun, I don't think you can. There's no electronic parts to that.
No, it's just on a tripod, isn't it?
It's like a stick, yeah. I mean, the rules of what can and can't be controlled are not established well.
Yeah, the fact that can be controlled, but all the cars, when they're driving, you'd just flip the car, wouldn't you? If you could take over the car.
Yeah. Then they escape, get on a boat, and sail away to an island with no cars.
The boats,
and then
the boats around them,
the speedboats there,
were speedboats and yachts that clearly have some form of motor, albeit a lot of it might be rudder based and sail based, but you'd have some motor there.
I get that they escape on like a proper sailboat, totally fine. Yeah, I'm with you. There's definitely speedboats there that could ram into you and destroy the boat.
Well, still not even a proper sailboat. They have. Oh no, it'll be a wheel for the rudder, won't it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was just a standard sailboat. That's fine. Yeah. But again, speedboats. And the movie ends, and this is the conclusion to it, with a text ending, which is the Russians have a weather satellite with nukes and laser guns that blows up a UFO.
Sorry, laser cannons.
Oh, sorry, laser cannons. I apologize. Yes. And then they pass out the comet, and then everything is fine. I love that the end of this movie was just, and then we were fine. Yeah,
Russians did it. Thank you, Russia.
No, the Russians saved us, and then we were fine. Oh man, this movie.
It was basically a really bad take on evil Transformers.
This is a prequel to Pixar's Cars.
Is there any humans in Cars?
No, don't get me started on Cars.
Is Cars post Wall-E? Was that what we've established?
Now, if we're going into the Pixar timeline theory, which I don't necessarily agree with, they posit that Cars comes after Wall-E, when everyone has evacuated.
Yeah.
But then in their theory, the humans die out again, and then living cars take over the planet. But then later on, monsters evolve and destroy the cars. That's where Monsters Inc. comes in.
Okay.
The Pixar timeline is crazy and dumb, and I don't like it.
I think it's fun.
I mean, it's fine, but it's just a lot of it is just like a bunch of logic leaks.
Yeah.
My thing with Cars is there's so much lore in the Cars universe, so much world building that is crazy and makes no sense. Like my favorite one being there is a Pope mobile who drives around in a Pope mobile. Having the Pope implies that there was a Jesus Chrysler who died for our sins, and that that cars have a concept of religion. And
I hope that's
Bible.
not your joke, because if not, I'm going to mute you.
Jesus Chrysler is not my joke. I stole it from someone else.
I'll let you off.
But it's a good joke.
It's a great joke. Great joke, yeah.
I could go for days talking about cars. Like in Cars 3, they introduced the concept of newer, improved cars coming along. Which, are the cars being built in a factory, or do the cars have sex? And if the cars have sex, how do the cars have sex, and where did the children come out of? Whereas the car's
exhaust.
brain, I need to stop.
No, all cars are cesarean. They just open the boot or the bonnet.
Where is the car's sentience coming from? Is it the engine? Can the engine be replaced? How did the cars improve in speed?
Have you seen the
I'm
car?
Have a meltdown, Keenan.
The car anatomy, where it's like a humanoid thing on the inside, and then it's got
it's horrible.
It.
I saw.
Yeah,
I think it might have been Film Theory, whose idea was that the metal on the car is the exoskeleton, and the cars are technically insects, which is horrifying. I need to calm down from my car excitement. Calm down. And the only way I think we can calm down is with a little bit of philosophy, or as I like to call it, filmosophy. So this week's filmosophy comes to us from our co-clip director himself, Stephen King.
I'm scared.
So I've brought you 3 Stephen King works. To be fair, these aren't as bad as usual. Stephen King, most of the quotes I could find. Well, yeah, but I didn't want to quote from his books. I wanted to do from interviews, and mostly in interviews he just talks about his books. So
okay.
I have got 3. So here's your first one. When asked, how do you write? I invariably answer, 1 word at a time. Which I like. I like to think of that as a good thing, It's a nice way of thinking. You just got to keep going through. Work as you go. And I like to live by that. If you liked being a teenager, there's something really wrong with you. And I try to live by that every day, I look back at the past and think, oh man, 15-year-old Matt, what a dick. And I try to live by those words. I watched Titanic when I got back from the hospital, and I cried. I knew that my IQ had been damaged. And I try to live by that. Some days you watch Titanic and you're like, oh, it's pretty dumb, isn't it? Boat sinks. And this has been your Filmosophy.
Beautiful.
Probably I called the Titanic survivors tosses. I'm going to double moose jam because I've offended Celine Dion, so there's more mooses coming. So we need to make a new film, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any ideas? So I think we could do we adapt a different Stephen King thing, but I don't know Stephen King well enough to do that.
No,
so
neither do I. I don't know. You probably have a better idea, but I was thinking now you were saying that this is like an evil version of Cars, whether we should make a Pixar film universe, but they're all horror.
Evil Pixar.
Yeah. What was your idea?
Well, I was going to say, what if it's a different thing comes to life? But I think evil Pixar's better.
Right. I've got to think of a funny Pixar film that can be run.
So here's my idea. It's set in a grimy French backdrop.
Here we go.
You know where I'm going already.
Here we go.
And
the only one that's set in France. Let's go.
Well, I think Cars 2 goes to France, to be fair. Might do, I don't remember. And there's a chef working in a kitchen, and the chef it's going to be a little guy, because it's the head chef. It's Warwick Davis as your head chef, doing a really bad French accent the entire time.
So we've established that Warwick Davis can't do a French accent.
I mean, he might be able to, but he's doing a bad one for this. Yeah. I'm sure he can. Warwick Davis is a very talented actor.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's working in his restaurant, and this guy comes to the door. He's played by, it's got to be someone young and up and coming.
I know exactly where he's going to fit into this film as well.
Do you?
I know where he's going to go.
See about that.
I know where he's going to go.
Your young up and coming actor. It's going to be who's, because I've used Timothée Chalamet before. I've used Tom Holland before. Who else is young and up and coming?
Male,
yeah.
That's only those two that I can think of.
Yeah.
That are like people at our age.
Yeah, or like slightly younger, slightly older.
Like all the rising stars in Hollywood are female, isn't it?
Pretty much. Well, all right then. It's going to be a twist on it. It's going to be a female Linguini, and it's going to be played by Millie Bobby Brown.
Okay. Well, you'd have to go those.
Oh yeah, I could go with a Stranger Things kid. I'm going to go with.
No.
I'm going to stick with Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
But she has hair in this because
But she does usually.
Well, yeah, but in Stranger Things she doesn't.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Anyway, she shows up at the restaurant and she
does now. Sorry to spoil it to you.
Gusteau sent me. Gusteau's ghost does appear in this movie. It's played by Steve Buscemi, the fat suit.
I picked the wrong character.
You thought the rat was going to be voiced by Steve Buscemi?
No, I thought it was going to be.
Did you think it was going to be the guy who killed the guy with his thumb?
No, I thought it was going to be the reviewer.
Oh, okay. No, I have a different idea for that.
Okay.
So she's it's basically the plot of Ratatouille ignoring the rat stuff for most of it.
Okay.
Until she finds the rat, catches it, takes it outside, and she's like, "Wait, you can understand me?" And the rat nods. And she's like, "Oh, well, you're very smart for a rat." She lets it out, and it climbs on her head and takes her over. And she's like, "Wait, no, I can't control my body." And it's a horror film from this point on.
It's a possession
where
film.
She's a serial killer and can't control her movements.
Ooh.
She's being walked into and she's like stabbing people and hiding the bodies and cooking them into food. Got a Sweeney Todd kind of twist to it.
Yes.
And that's why the restaurant starts doing better, because it's got like a Sweeney Todd thing going on.
I was like, this meat tastes great. What's in it?
Yeah.
Your mum.
Your mum.
And that guy's in it.
Yeah. So the other female chef in the restaurant, that's played by Daisy Ridley.
Okay.
I don't know, why not? And she's like, you bring in your own ingredients? That's fun. Weird, but fun. And he takes over the restaurant by killing Warwick Davies and then cooking him into a ratatouille for Antonigo, who is, the CGI recreation of Peter Cushing from Rogue One. It's him. It's in the exact same costume and everything, and it's just as creepy.
So it's just Grand Moff Tarkin in Ratatouille.
And when you see him as a kid later on, because they still do the flashback thing when he eats the food.
Yeah.
It's still him. Flashback thing. It's still him, but just made small. It's just squished down. But it's not scaled properly. So
does it go down? Does it go that way?
And then he's like, I must meet the chef. And then Millie Bobby Brown, who still has the rat on her head, but is doing the waitressing, it's like, if you want to meet the chef, you got to come after the restaurant closes. And he's like, all right. And then he does. And then she takes the hat off to reveal the rat, and he's about to kill him. And then he just punches her in the face. That's how the movie ends.
Nice.
And the name of my evil ratatouille is Venom. No. Because Venom is just evil ratatouille. No, the name of my evil ratatouille is Ratabouille.
Morte manger. Deathly
Ratatouille, but it's called Ratatouille, but Sweeney Todd also.
Okay.
Is the full title.
All right. I may need your input on actors in this in a bit, because I may...
Okay.
My knowledge may run thin.
All right.
I came up with an idea, then realised I wouldn't be very good at casting it.
Okay, I can help.
I'm just going to explain it, then I think we can cast afterwards. One small, lonely, sad 10-year-old boy is walking through the streets. Oh,
I think I know where this is going.
What's this? A charity shop. Okay, let's have a look in the charity shop today, shall we?
Oh, no.
What's in this charity shop? What a wonderful little penny whistle. I'm changing the instrument. Oh, this penny whistle looks great. No, I'm going to do it properly. Look at this wonderful guitar.
Okay, there we go. Now
I like this guitar. How much for this, sir? A shady looking Sir Ian McKellen from the back goes, "Oh, young boy, for you, this is free. Make all
you don't pay
dreams
with money.
come true.
You'll pay with something else."
So
this is Needful Things, but it's Coco, right?
Little boy comes around and he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I need some money to eat. He starts busking on the street. Crack, crack, crack. The floor starts erupting. Hands come out of the floor. Out crawls the deceased beings of this town. This is a zombie raising guitar. Day of the Dead. The Day of the Dead comes to the real world, as opposed to him going to the spiritual world. And then it just turns into a zombie apocalypse film.
Mm-hmm. But it's still got the stuff where he reunites with his family, right?
Yes. So there's some good zombies. Some zombies that haven't fully turned yet. So he's got his family, and then eventually he has to make a decision whether to kill his family or become one of them. Okay.
Do you want a child actor to play the 10-year-old, or would it be funnier to just have like an adult playing?
I don't know. Basically what I need to do is I need to decide whether they're all Latin performers or whether we don't set it in Latin America. Then my knowledge is a bit... I think we should, because if it's Day of the Dead, then we should. Yeah. My thing is, other than the kid who actually plays Coco, I don't know any other like Latin child actors. Child actor, we'll just get someone. We'll have a new actor. We'll just get the kid who plays Coco. Kid who plays Coco, or where's the guy who plays Miguel from? I don't know. I'll have a look. Also, the kid from Coco is called Miguel. Coco is the grandma. Right. Let's go. Who have we got? The mum can be played by Rosario Dawson. Okay. Zombie mum. The dad is the guy who is Amy's dad in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's also in Dexter. I don't know his name. Yep, I know who you mean. That guy. He's in it. Neil Sethi is the Mowgli actor. I think he's an Indian, or of Indian origin. Okay. He's from New York. But no, then. Wrong continent. He's also like a teenager now. No. He can play young still. Let's just get the kid who played Miguel. Yeah, because I can never remember which rainforest Jungle Book's set in. I thought it could be like an Amazon one. It's definitely Indian. Yeah. Miguel is played by Anthony Gonzalez. We'll have him. Yeah. There is a cameo in this by all the Latin Hamilton cast. I thought that's where you're going. Yeah, they're just in the corner. It's Anthony Ramos just shows up and he's like, "Hi, I'm Anthony Ramos. I'm secretly dead." And like they're just all there, just having a little. Yeah. They can do the soundtrack. They'll do the soundtrack. Sure. I'm trying to think of some other people. I don't want to go just so obvious and go, let's pick all the Latin people from 9-9. It's boring.
Get Rita Moreno to play
the grandma. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. We need a granddad as well.
Granddad can be. I don't know that many Latin actors.
Yeah, I chose Coco and realised it's hard to cast it.
Honestly, I'm just thinking of the cast of One Day at a Time, so it's going to be Berto from One Day at a Time.
We'll have Stephanie Beatrice play the voice of the zombie dog.
Sure. And then do like the living die out by the end of it?
Yeah. No, the whole city's overthrown, but Miguel decides to kill his family for the safety of the whole humanity. Because this is the core, that's where it starts, because of the Ian McKellen evil boy.
Well, can I suggest a link between our two films then?
Yeah, can I just say that mine is a musical?
Wait. Oh yes, go on.
It's a musical, and all the songs in it are in a minor key.
Oh. Bleak.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, in the post-credit... Oh, sorry, what's the title of yours?
It'll still be called Coco.
Okay.
And then you decide who lives or dies, but written in Spanish.
I see. Well then, in the post-credit scene of Coco, you decide who lives or dies, but it's written in Spanish.
That's the title. It's not translated. Yeah. That's the title.
You see one survivor of Coco's apocalypse.
Yes.
And it is Millie Bobby Brown with a zombie rat on top of her head.
Because she's already possessed.
Yeah,
she wasn't repossessed.
She dies at the end of my movie. Grandma fucking punches her so hard she dies.
Right.
She revives, but with the zombie rat on top of her head. Still, this time they're fully bonded. There is no escaping.
Because she's a zombie now as well.
Yes.
So has she just travelled to this city? Is it set in Mexico?
Just kind of, yeah?
I think it's set in Mexico, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Is it Cuba?
No, it's Mexico. It's definitely Mexico.
Yeah.
No, it just kind of when he plays the note, like kills all the zombies. It's like amplified so loud that it reaches Paris,
right?
And revives her because that's two connected spirits instead of one. So
McCallum could be a demon, can't he? So he can snap away and he can appear in France.
Well, he's playing a monster specifically, and he's playing Randall, who in our universe.
Oh, yes, Randall's a good one. Yeah, he could be a shapeshifter.
And then the next movie is Grand Moff Tarkin recruits Miguel, and also Merida. They go to Scotland and recruit Merida, and they film like a Pixar Avengers to fight the monsters from Monsters Inc.
Which is the leader is the Loch Ness Monster.
The Loch Ness Monster?
Yeah.
That's not a Pixar thing.
No, we'll make one.
Oh, you're saying like it's a... Oh, no, I think the leader is going to be Randall, played by Ian McKellen.
Okay.
But I think when you introduce Merida, she is fighting the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, like the beginning of Thor, and he's just fighting a random demon.
Yeah, I think all of our hero introductions in this movie, which is called Pixar's The Avengers, are them doing like a superhero thing when Grand Moff Tarkin and Miguel recruit them.
Like, hey, you're doing some superhero stuff. Come and join me.
Yeah, they get an Incredible. They get Elastigirl, who is fighting someone, I don't know, Batman. Why not?
Yep.
She's fighting Batman, and they're like, "Come with us, Elastigirl. Start off, Batman."
This works, doesn't it? This is the only way the Fantastic Four can join the Avengers is if we take the rip-off, which is the Incredibles.
Yeah. So you have it's going to be the original Avengers was 6 of them, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be 6 people in the new Avengers.
So we've got Miguel.
So Grand Moff Tarkin, Miguel. Or is Grand Moff Tarkin the Nick Fury?
I think so. I think we have to establish whether at the end of My Coco, whether they reverse the zombie thing so much that he can now possess the guitar and it raises the dead, but on his side.
Yes, definitely. That's his
So
power.
his family can then fight for him, almost like the ghosts in Lord of the Rings.
In Lord of the Rings, yes.
Yeah, that's that. That's where we go.
And then Merida is just a Hawkeye. Elastigirl has actual superpowers. So that's
so Elastigirl has to be. Is she in charge?
No, Miguel's in charge. Elastigirl.
So Miguel is. Miguel is. So Miguel and Elastigirl are Captain America, Iron Man, like who's actually in charge, sort of thing. Okay.
And then Oscar is Hawkeye. Black Widow is going to be the good dinosaur. Good dinosaur's Hulk. Because he's the.
Sure you want Sully as Hulk.
No, because Sully's on the evil team.
Oh, he's on the evil team. Oh no.
Because the Monsters Inc. are the evils.
We need a swarm. That's his final move. That's Miguel's final move. Is he plays his guitar and a swarm of zombie reanimated seagulls from Monsters Inc. Like Finding Nemo.
Yeah,
that's what he does.
Mine. Yeah. So good dinosaurs are Hulk. So we need Black Widow. We need a Thor. Thor is Eve from WALL-E.
Yeah, because she'll have like electric powers.
She has the powers. And then our Black Widow
Russell.
Yeah, it's Russell.
He's got all the different gadgets.
And he's riding Kevin the entire time.
Yes, please. Russell.
In our final film, Pixar's The Avengers, Elastigirl, Miguel, Eve, the good dinosaur, Russell, and who's the other one we said? Merida. Team up to fight Monsters Inc. led by Ian McKellen playing Randall. And in the post-credit scenes of that movie, because we're setting up a bigger universe, we introduce our Thanos, which is...
It's got to be someone big.
It's going to be someone big who's a big Pixar film.
Woody or Buzz. It's got to be someone Toy Story, because Toy Story's in all of them.
It's lots of Hook and Bear.
Yes.
Lots of Hook and Bear is Thanos.
Yeah, because Toy Story is mentioned in all of them, isn't it? Somewhat, so it's got to be.
You know how Thanos has the outsider in his first appearance. It's like to fight the Avengers would be to court death itself, and then Thanos is like, yeah. The outsider is Sid, and then Thanos is Lotso Hook and Bear.
I like this. Perfect.
Pixar's The Avengers.
This is
coming to you when we can learn how to animate.
We're getting too good.
This is a genius idea.
Such a good idea.
So I think that's the end of the episode.
We took just as long pitching this idea as we did reviewing the film, and I love it. Yeah, it's great.
It's a great idea. If you enjoyed this episode of Lecture for Boogaloo, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends.
Yeah.
Buy yourself something pretty. We have a merch store. Just go out and treat yourself. You deserve it.
Support local businesses and say we sent you. They'd get confused, but say it anyway.
Yeah. Support local businesses online if you can. Don't go out your house unless you have to. Pubs may be open, but you shouldn't be there. This is our political segment. And we love you. We'll be back next week. And Keenan, and with that famous outro.
Boo! Oh, wow. I scared you there. Sorry. My energy was just too electrifying for you. Giloo.
Bye.
Bye.
End of episode.
Nailed it.